I was saying, like, it's crazy about, like, these, like, tie-ins that happen with movies coming out. And I remember when first Iron Man comes out, it's huge. Everything happens. MCU's, that's the beginning.
Yep.
Iron Man 2's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
They pushed
so hard.
So hard with AC/DC being involved.
So hard.
So I'll tell your story and I'll jump on that because I'll do you even one better on top of that.
So I was still drinking at this point, and I had no.
I'm not gonna top that.
No, this is important because I still, to a degree, do this, but for different reasons. At that point, when I got money, as soon as my bills were paid, I spent it as soon as I got it. Yeah. And sometimes I would do it to the point where I wouldn't maybe get my bills paid, but I would buy stupid shit like a fucking I think it was $30, which back then was not cheap.
Yeah.
You know, it's not cheap, period, but it was like the Ultra Maxi Digi Collection CD, like double fucking fisted, you know, fucking. It was like, it was a digibook, and there was a big fucking heavy book with like one disc in the way back, and then it was like a giant booklet of like, hey, here's. And you couldn't open it and look at it. You had to buy it and then get it home and open it and look at it. And when you got it home, because it said clearly like special deluxe edition AC/DC blah 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 special, you know, stuff. And this is
can't even like look at this until you open it when you buy it.
It said like special behind the scenes like sneak peek at the new movie. You know, so you're like shit.
This is hyping up Iron Man.
So I'm hungover as fuck, and I'm going down to get Chipotle or something like that. I'm like, I want to get something to, you know, I want to consume. As a consumer, to wash away this existential dread that I feel every day in this stupid fucking society that we made. So let me consume something. Oh, here's something that's to my liking. $30. What is it, 40, 50? I don't give a shit. Give it to me. I take it home, and I take my Chipotle home, of course.
Sure.
Maybe it was Jersey Mike's. Does it matter? No. And I get home.
Doesn't to me, damn it. Be accurate.
It was food for the hungover. It was food to soak up.
That's why I think it's Chipotle. If you're
whatever
hungover,
I woke up
probably
with,
Chipotle.
whatever, it didn't matter.
Anyway.
It was spicy and crappy, and I probably pooped it out.
Well, you did poop it out, buddy.
Yeah, you probably did.
Probably. No, you did, man.
Why are we focusing on that part?
Because I need you to know that you did shit it out.
You do know how lower intestines work, right? Dumb shit.
You don't just carry Chipotle with you like it's a piece of gum stuck to your.
That's not true either.
I know it's not.
Yeah. We were told that when we were kids. Like, don't swallow gum. Like, why not? Like,
because as a kid,
it'll make your butthole close up.
Because as a kid, you're not thinking of like,
gum stuck in your butt.
I have stomach acid that digests all this shit. But anyway,
so
you're eating Chipotle.
No, that's not real. So I get home. I buy it because of what it says, which is bullshit. Because when I get it home, I look it open, or I open it and I'm looking at it. It's all shit that I've already seen in magazines or on TV or whatever. It's nothing new, and none of the songs from AC/DC are new either. However, this is why it is an important collection or important part of my music buying collection over the years.
Sure,
I was still very much. I was on my way to respecting Bon Scott and listening to more Bon Scott era AC/DC, but at that stage in my life, I was very much a Brian Johnson AC/DC guy.
Okay.
That's what I grew up with. By the time I knew anything about AC/DC, Bon Scott was long dead. You know what I mean? So, okay. Sure. A lot of the songs on Iron Man 2 soundtrack are Bon Scott fucking classics, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And let me tell you, as somebody who was heavily drinking and doing a lot of drugs at the time, those songs were fucking awesome. So it was worth it over in the long run, but at the time I was just like, fuck you. I spent whatever on this. Fuck you. You know, I wanted to take it back. I'm like, this is
funny
bullshit.
enough, I didn't have that, but I did have the box set, the AC/DC Iron Man 2 little box thing.
Yeah, it was a little...
which is funny to think that was even a thing that you could buy in 2010. Because even in 2010, we had kind of moved into the MP3 era, like MP3
We
sharing era.
started to, but physical media was still very much a thing until I'd say
That was right before I just gave my gave my computer cancer.
The
with
first time
LimeWire.
I stopped, the first time I really started
And FrostWire.
considering listening to streaming stuff because it was so much more convenient than physical media was maybe 2015, maybe 16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, I said I'd do you one better.
I am behind the
Right.
curve on a lot of shit.
So, growing up, I was always a huge AC/DC fan because my dad was.
Me too.
Like, that's my dad's favorite band.
My uncle had a poster of Highway to Hell that scared the shit out of me when I was like 3 or 4.
The little horns.
Well, my uncle was
Angus.
more like an older cousin. He was the youngest in the family. He was actually a miracle child.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Oopsie.
Like, yeah. But so so like when we went over
Unplanned.
Well, yeah, when we went over
So
to
mean.
when we went over to the house or whatever, he still lived in the house when we visited Grandma and Grandpa. So he had the room at the top of the stairs, and he had Atari, and he was always playing cool music, and he had all these posters on his walls of like all these bands.
Yeah.
And our other cousins down the way in Drayton, North Dakota, they all had like Ozzy posters and shit, and like that's how like, and that's when I was like 3 or 4 or 5 years old, 5, 6 years old, and because I loved these, you know what I mean? Because I was like, I looked up to these people. Of course, when you're that age, most of the adults that
Yeah.
regardless of what they're like, you're generally like, hey, those.
There's some sort of mentoring feeling in there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, definitely my cousins and then my uncle too. Like we all kind of hung out. They were all friends and they hung out and probably smoked weed together. I'm sure. I don't know if you could find weed in North Dakota at the time, but they all hung out and stuff, and they were all cool.
From
They all
Canada.
listened, probably drank PBR and whatever, And so you kind of felt like, oh, I'm cool. They're letting me hang out while they watch a Mel Brooks movie. Because I'm not supposed to. I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to watch a Mel Brooks movie because I'm 5 or 6.
Well, I also had this thing.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, you just steamroll me.
Yep, let me just
Dick.
fucking walk all over your goddamn story because mine is more better.
Well, my dad was a super fan, and we had so much so that we even had the fucking DVD set.
So which one? 'Cause there's
Family
like a million
Jewels.
of them. Okay,
Is what it was called, Family Jewels. Which
the one I'm thinking
growing
of is
up, I
not
didn't-
that one.
as I got older, I realized, wow, they're really just always singing about dicks and fucking.
So
Because, like, Family Jewels, and then
is this a tour video?
it's just a compilation
Okay.
of like live performances, music videos, and all that shit. So anyway,
From both eras?
yeah,
Okay.
there's literally a disc for Bon and a disc for Brian,
That's
which is
cool.
really fucking cool.
That's cool, yeah.
But anyway, so we were so we had that, and then which is same thing. I was like, this isn't anything new because AC/DC had a problem with constantly putting multiple songs on different albums.
Yeah.
I've noticed that.
Well, if
But
you
it
look
must
at
have been
their
like how it was
if
released,
you look at
or
their
whatever.
catalog, a lot of it's because of I think Decca.
Licensing or probably
Decca was their record company, and they were Australian, and they had to go through, or Decca was the American distributor. Whatever.
not important
Point. Yeah.
to this, but
They have
I
like
would love to have the
47 albums in the 70s
Yeah.
and like 29 original songs between them.
So we get all that, but I'm pretty sure we bought a different pack. So we got like the CD thing, not like the booklet thing that you were talking about, but a T-shirt, and not just any old
I
T-shirt.
think there
And
was
I am so upset
I want to say
that
there
I
was a
never
DVD in there
kept this,
too.
Tyler, because I wish
Yeah.
I did, because it's so stupid.
Oh, of course.
And I wish
yeah,
I still
yeah,
had this shirt.
Yeah.
It was, I think it was, if I remember correctly, it was just War Machine. Could have been Iron Man and War Machine, but I'm pretty sure it was just War Machine, which was a big deal because he was going to be in this one. But it's just him, and I don't remember if it said like it's him flying and some other shit and him just standing there. And then I can't remember. It might have said "Shoot to Thrill" on it. I don't know if it did or not. But it definitely had AC/DC underneath it, like real big. And I'm like, even at that time, I'm like, this is stupid, but I like this shirt. And I'm like, I wish I would have kept it. I still have a Van Halen T-shirt from like high school.
Well,
That still
dude,
fits.
you can get Van Halen T-shirts for like 3-year-olds.
No, I'm just saying I wish I kept that shirt because it's such a bizarre thing to have.
Strange to me.
Because of how much they tied AC/DC to that movie. Because they were like, all right, if we're going to pay for that fucking license for all these AC/DC songs.
We're going to fucking go into it.
And,
we're gonna
AC/DC was on the other side being like, we're going to take a chunk of this fucking movie's marketing.
Sure.
So let's make a deal.
Yeah, it was.
And get your bag.
It was two sharks feeding on each other.
Get your bag.
And we got so much crap out of it.
Speaking of Marvel.
Because it was a crappy movie.
But not crap. Hey. Oh, dude. Time out.
Mickey Rourke gets a bad fucking rap for that movie.
Compare. Time out.
Sam Rockwell was a revelation.
Tyler, you've used this argument before because you're a genius. Yeah, smart baby.
Smart.
Baron. Bubby. Jesus, could you imagine Hans Gruber and Christopher Walken? Hans, Bubby. I don't care. Points lost. But it not.
We can discuss suits.
You could
all
take,
day,
you could
Mr. Takagi.
You could take.
But you're gonna give me the code. What?
I'm just saying you could take Love and Thunder and compare that to Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
Like you were talking about. There's hits and misses all over the place, baby. It ain't just post Endgame, but it's a little bit more glaring now. Anyway. Not a glaring point. High point of modern day MCU. Daredevil Born Again is back, baby. Or Daredevil's back, baby, in a new show.
You're probably sitting there going, it's Wednesday, and I don't have a fucking new off-panel, off-topic episode. I am gonna riot. I'm gonna
equally violent.
Honestly, if you do that, I kind of don't want you.
Well, if you're gonna beat puppies,
don't
listen to our show. You fucking
I really
asshole.
don't. I think you should probably turn yourself into some sort of authority.
It's just a podcast, man.
Chill
out.
While there's an authority left in this country that gives a shit about beating puppies, because that's where we're headed. You get it?
You dig?
You dig? They're about to fucking dismantle the Department of Education. What the fuck? Nothing's fucking. Who gives a shit? Anyway. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.